Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome back to Shravanam Diaries podcast. I'm your host Sulalita Devidasi and we are continuing to read Teachings of Lord Caitanya by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Chapter 29, Pure Love for Kṛṣṇa. Such transcendental relationships with the Supreme Lord cannot be manufactured by the mental concoctions of pseudo-devotees. In this connection, Rupa Goswami has stated in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.101 that devotional service which makes no reference to the Vedic scriptures and which does not follow the principles set forth therein can never be approved. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj has also remarked that professional spiritual masters, professional Bhagavatam reciters, professional Kirtan performers, and those engaged in devotional service according to their own mental concoctions cannot be accepted. In India, there are various professional communities known as Aula Baula Kartabhaja, Neda Daravesha, Sani Ativadi, Chudadhari, and Gauranga Nagari. A member of the Ventar Goswami Society or the caste called Goswami cannot be accepted as a descendant of the 6 original Goswamis, nor can so-called devotees who manufacture songs about Lord Caitanya, nor those who are professional priests or paid reciters be accepted. One who does not follow the principles of the Pancharatra, or one who is an impersonalist or addicted to sex life cannot be compared with those who have dedicated their lives to the service of Kṛṣṇa. A pure devotee who is always engaged in Kṛṣṇa consciousness can sacrifice everything for the service of the Lord. Whether following the principles of householder life or those of the renounced life in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, such a pure devotee who has dedicated his life to the service of Lord Caitanya, Kṛṣṇa, and the spiritual master cannot be compared with professional men. When one is freed from all material contamination, any one of the relationships with Kṛṣṇa is transcendentally relishable. Unfortunately, those who are inexperienced in the transcendental science cannot appreciate the different relationships with the Supreme Lord. They think that all such relationships arise from Maya. The author of the Chaitanya Charitamrita has given a nice example concerning these relationships. He points out that earth, water, fire, air, and ether, the 5 gross elements, develop from subtle forms to grosser forms. For example, sound is found in ether, but in the air there is both sound and touch. In fire there is sound, touch, and form, and in water there is sound, touch, form, and taste. Finally, in earth there is sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. Just as the various characteristics increase in the progression from ether to earth, so the 5 characteristics of devotion increase with each relationship until all 5 are found in the relationship of conjugal love. Thus, the relationship with Kṛṣṇa in conjugal love is accepted as the highest perfectional stage of love of God. In this connection, Lord Kṛṣṇa says to the damsels of Vraja in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.82.44, quote, "Devotional service to me is the life of every living entity. Indeed, your love for me is the only cause of achieving my association." Unquote. It is said that Lord Kṛṣṇa, in his relationship with his devotees, accepts all kinds of devotional service and then reciprocates according to the devotee's attitude. If one wants a relationship with Kṛṣṇa as master and servant, Kṛṣṇa plays the part of a perfect master, the perfect master. For one who wants Kṛṣṇa as a son in the parental relationship, Kṛṣṇa plays the part of a perfect son. Similarly, if a devotee wants to worship Kṛṣṇa in conjugal love, Kṛṣṇa plays the part of a husband or paramour. However, Kṛṣṇa had admitted that his loving relationship with the damsels of Vraja in conjugal love is the highest perfectional stage. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.32.22, Kṛṣṇa told the gopis, "Na parayeham niravadya samyujam svasadu krityam vibudhayusha piva yama bhajan durjaya geha shrinkala samvrishya tadvah pratiyatu sadhuna." Quote, "My dear gopis, your relationship with me is completely transcendental, and it is not possible for me to offer anything in exchange for your love, even after many births. You have given up all attachment for material enjoyment, and you have searched after me. Since I am unable to repay your love, kindly be pleased with your own activities." Unquote. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj has remarked that there is a class of common men who claim that anyone and everyone can worship the Supreme Lord according to his own invented mode of worship and still attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They claim that one can approach the Supreme Lord either through fruitive activities, speculative knowledge, meditation, or austerity, and that any one of these methods will enable one to reach the perfectional stage. They generally give the example that just as a place may be reached by one of the many paths, so the Supreme Absolute Truth may be worshipped either as Goddess Kali or Goddess Durga or Lord Shiva, Ganesha, Rama, Hari, or Brahma. In short, they maintain that it does not matter how the Absolute Truth is addressed, for all names are one and the same. They give the example of a man with many names, if he is called by any of those names, he will answer. Such mentally concocted views may be very pleasing to an ordinary person, but they are full of misconceptions concerning transcendental life. One who worships the demigods out of material lust cannot attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although the external energy of the Lord may award such a worshipper some material results. Kṛṣṇa discourages demigod worship in the Bhagavad Gita 7.23. Antavatu phalam tesham tadbhavatyalpamedhasham devan deva yajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Quote, men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Unquote. Thus, the Supreme Lord awards the benediction of his association only to those who worship him, and not to those who worship the demigods. It is not a fact that everyone and anyone can reach the Supreme Personality of Godhead by worshipping the material demigods. It is therefore surprising that a man can imagine that he will become perfect by worshipping the demigods. The results of devotional service rendered in full Kṛṣṇa consciousness cannot be compared to the results of demigod worship, fruitive activity, or mental speculator. The result of fruitive activity is that one can go to the heavenly planets, or one can go to hell. Very, very clear. Jai. Chapter 30. The Transcendental Pastimes of Radha and Kṛṣṇa. The difference between ordinary religious activities and devotional service is very great. This is in continuation to the previous topic. By executing religious rituals, one can achieve economic development, sense gratification, or liberation, merging into the existence of the Supreme. But the results of transcendental devotional service are completely different from such temporary benefits. Devotional service of the Lord is evergreen, and it is increasingly transcendentally pleasing. Thus, there is a gulf of difference between the results derived from devotional service and those derived from religious rituals. The great divine energy known as Jadadhi Statri or Mahamaya, the superintendent of the material world, and the material departmental directors, the demigods, as well as the products of the external energy of the Supreme Lord, are but the perverted reflections of the opulence of the Supreme Lord. The demigods are actually order carriers of the Supreme Lord, and they help manage the material creation. In the Brahma Samhita 5.44, 52, and 49, it is stated that the workings of the supremely powerful superintendent Durga are but shadows of the workings of the Supreme Lord. That the sun works just like the eye of the Supreme Lord, and that Brahma works just like a jewel reflecting the light of the Supreme Lord. Thus, in the material world, all the demigods, as well as the external energy herself, Durga Devi, are all the different departmental directors, are but servants of the Supreme Lord. Jai. In the spiritual world, there is another energy, and we're going to read about this energy tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. The link to this book is in the description. Please check out our website, shravanamdiaries.com, and we shall see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.